I think it's only fair if I start this series off with a journey through the past. How's it going, boys? My name is Schlatt. If I asked you how you were doing, I hope the answer would be well. And this week, I want to talk a little bit about progress. It's the 4th episode of the Weekly Slap, by the way. Are you pumped? Are you as pumped about this as I am? Oh, it's going to be great. I'm really happy about this series. But let's get back on topic here. Progress, specifically mine, as someone who makes videos. I think my trajectory has been a bit of a weird one. A whole lot of flip-floppities, a whole bunch of different channels, rebrands, still no brand deals, but I kind of understand why. And I'm going to walk you through the path I took to get to where I am today. And hopefully this will give you some insight on video production, especially if you're interested in making your own videos. Our journey begins in 2010. Inspired by a mix of Call of Duty commentaries and Freddie W. short films, I decided with my best friend, hey, let's run around and kill each other on camera. Like pretending, though, we're not actually going to do it. And so we filmed ourselves running around shooting each other with bright yellow Nerf guns, faking the recoil and adding in like a frame of muzzle flare with Windows Movie Maker. And we did that more than a few times and got a good, I think it was like 38 subscribers. That was big. That was big, dude. Those videos are still floating out there somewhere, too. God forbid I tell you the name of the channel, because looking back, those videos are probably like the worst thing I've ever done. But I love doing it. And 10 or so videos in, there's a noticeable uptick in quality. I started adding smoke puffs. I was doing rudimentary motion tracking. I had better sound effects, better choreography. I was improving. At that point, though, we had gotten a little bored with action videos, and I saved up my allowance and bought a PVR for recording Xbox gameplay. This was late 2012, early 2013. It's like when the world was supposed to end. When guys like, KYR Speedy were running the show. And, silly me, just like in 2010 when I thought I could emulate Freddie W., I thought I could emulate The Crew and make, good gaming videos. So I started recording me and my buds playing Call of Duty, GTA, Skate. I used the, your standard run-of-the-mill Incompetech royalty-free music. I used the generic sound effects, subtitles, the whole shebang. This was a new channel I made, and I did a little better than the first attempt, peaking around, I think, 120 subscribers this time. I don't think they were real subscribers, though. I mean, to be fair, I did a lot of, that bullshit sub-for-sub garbage back in the day, and I probably did it on my first channel, too, so I think it's safe to say that the first 2 tries on YouTube that I did fell flat. And God forbid I tell anyone that channel name, because Jesus H. Christ, those videos are really, honestly, they're probably the worst thing I've ever done. But I want to say I made about 20 of them. But from the first video to the last one I had made, I had gotten noticeably better. The comedic timing was better, the production was better. And at the end of that phase, I learned how to edit and condense conversations and funny moments into semi-palatable content. So it didn't really fall flat. I learned a lot in those 2 years. 2014 was when I really started grinding at it, though. I was going through a crappy time in high school. I moved to a new one and fell out of contact with a lot of old friends, so I didn't have anyone to game with anymore, and I needed an outlet. So like most unhappy teenagers do these days, I turned to the warm embrace of memes. Montage parodies, as they were called back then. And this is actually when I started the Jay Schlatt channel, the one I have today. And montage parodies were purposely shitty. They were supposed to be shitty. A lot of weed jokes, flashing colors and text. Pretty much anything you associate with Mountain Dew and MLG times 1,000, and specifically designed to give epileptic people seizures. It was over the top. And to be a top player in that space, in that game, you had to go above and beyond each time. And most of the time there, it was achieved through complex editing and keyframing and motion tracking. And a lot of those skills I had learned through the old videos I used to make, where I would just pop in muzzle flares and move the camera around in 3D space and all that crazy stuff. And I didn't do too bad making montage parodies. I was already a decent editor. I already had decent comedic timing from the gaming videos, and I put all those skills to work for me, and the Jay Schlatt channel grew to about 300 subscribers and a few 10,000 views or so. Unfortunately, though, that was the time when montage parodies were on their way out. The big boys of MLG, Weed, Pyrocynical, and the fuckers had moved on to reaction commentary with gameplay. Kind of like a middle ground between this kind of video and full-on reaction commentary. Leafy was also a big name in that group, and I remember not really wanting to go into that genre at all because I wasn't comfortable speaking alone in front of a microphone yet, but I took the leap anyways. And I started making fun of people. Cringe videos, it was it was only cringe videos. I was going for the low-hanging fruit, just trying to get views, honestly, but it still wasn't panning out for me that much. I kept making memes from time to time because they were the only videos that actually got me views. The commentaries at most got a couple hundred views. And after mild successes here and there, I decided to stop going with the flow. I wasn't happy with it. This was about 2 years ago now. And if you scroll back through my videos, that's when you're going to start to see a bit of disorder because I didn't know what I was doing. I think back then it was pretty clear I had no idea what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go from commentary. And there were some random one-off gaming videos, some failed music series, some podcasts, and that continued for about a year and a half until I started shifting my focus primarily towards gaming. Inspired by people like Dunkey, Nakey Jakey, Killing Experience, I started talking about games. I started telling stories through games. And that's when I actually started getting views. And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't learn how to edit through gunfight videos or montage parodies. It wouldn't have happened if I didn't learn comedic timing through my gaming funny moments videos. And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't learn how to speak to an audience through a year of the worst commentaries ever. It took me 8 years, boys. 8. To get to the point where people actually cared about my videos. If you think getting into YouTube will be a breeze and you'll be amazing from the start and get 50,000 subscribers in a day, you're dead ass wrong, B. If you think this platform is going to be your living from the second you start making videos, you're going to start raking in the AdSense and Patreon dollars, you're just misguided. And I might even consider making a similar video for the main channel because I think this is a really important message to anyone who's starting to, make videos. That this idea that making videos is easy and anyone can do it and everyone will like what you make is just plain false. And if there's one thing you walk away from this video with, I hope it's that you have to really love what you're doing to make it here. And if you're pulling in millions of views on this platform and only just recently started making videos, please send me a fucking email because I'd like to know the secret. Boys, I want to thank you all for watching and have a nice week.